Brooklyn, Indiana, the right place at the right moment. Let us start with Brooklyn, because the position she finds herself in this week is one of those story construction moments where you can feel the writers working with real intention, putting a specific character into a specific situation for reasons that go beyond the immediate drama and connect back to something much older and much heavier in Brooklyn's conscience. Brooklyn has been carrying the secret of what happened on that road the night Jordan was hurt. She was the driver. She swerved. She did not stop. She did not call it in. She told herself the darkness made it impossible to know what had happened and drove on to see Gio perform and arrived too late to see him anyway. And Jordan burned in a car that might have been reached sooner if someone had made a phone call from a moving vehicle on the way to a karaoke bar. She knows this. She has known it all summer. The guilt of it sits in her chest in the specific way that guilt sits when you know you could have done something and you did not, and the world rearranged itself around the absence of that action in ways that keep accumulating. Curtis's trial is one of those accumulations. Every day the proceedings continue is another day Brooklyn sits with the awareness that her silence contributed to a chain of events that has now put a man she knows in a courtroom. And now the universe, or the writers, which amounts to the same thing in Port Charles, is giving her a specific and pointed opportunity. Not to undo what happened. Not to erase the consequences of the decision she made on that road, but to be the person who prevents a different crisis, a different car, a different set of children whose afternoon is about to go very wrong because of a drugged coffee that nobody warned anyone about. Brooklyn stopping by Nina's place, or finding Willow at Bobby's, wherever the geography of the moment puts her, and seeing something wrong with Willow's behavior is exactly the kind of right place at the right time that saves lives on this show. Because Brooklyn is going to notice. Whatever is happening with Willow is going to register as often a way that someone paying less attention might not catch, but Brooklyn is sharp and she has been paying attention to Willow all summer for her own reasons, and she will know immediately that something is not right. The instinct to act, to hide the keys, to make an excuse that keeps Willow stationary with the children until Michael can be reached, to do something rather than stand there watching it unfold, is the instinct that was absent on Route 91. And whatever Brooklyn did that night, whatever she did not do, this is the chance to demonstrate that the better version of herself is the real one. Not the one who drove away in the dark. The one who stands in a doorway and refuses to let the crisis happen. Calling Michael is the right move. Michael finding out this way, through Brooklyn, through a concerned and immediate alert that something is wrong with Willow before the children are in a car on the open road, is a better outcome than Michael getting a call from Dante at the police station. It is still a terrible situation. But terrible situations have gradations, and Brooklyn standing in the way of the worst version of this is genuinely meaningful. The narrative symmetry is beautiful and painful simultaneously. The woman who left a crash scene is the woman who prevents one. The guilt that has been pressing on Brooklyn for months gets this specific opportunity to express itself not through confession, though that is still coming. That conversation is still waiting for her, but through action. Through being there. Through doing the things she did not do the first time. Whether it fully redeems her in her own eyes is a different question. Redemption in soap opera is rarely that tidy. But it matters. It absolutely matters. Michael demands answers and Jacinda's relationship starts falling apart. Now let us talk about Friday's confrontation between Michael and Jacinda, because this is the scene the week has been building toward, and it is going to be as consequential as everything that preceded it suggested it would be. Here is where we are. Jacinda put a pill in Willow's coffee. She did it impulsively, in the split second between seeing the opportunity and making the decision. She did it because the restraining order felt like a declaration of war against her and against her place in Michael's life and in the children's lives. She did it because she has been watching Willow operate all summer with the specific frustration of someone who can see clearly what Willow is doing and has no clean way to stop it. She did it because she thought she could control the outcome. She cannot control the outcome. She never could have controlled the outcome. And now the outcome is in motion and Michael is about to find out what she did. The hint she drops to Michael, that things are about to shift for Willow, that something is changing in the situation, is the kind of comment that sounds like confidence and is actually panic. She said something she should not have said because she is carrying something she cannot carry alone, and the weight of it leaked out before she could stop it. And Michael, who knows her and who has been paying attention to everything connected to Willow with the specific alertness of a parent who is also in the middle of a custody situation, catches it immediately. What did you do? That question is not asked calmly. It is not the beginning of a conversation. It is an accusation shaped as a question, delivered with the full weight of everything Michael has been trying to protect, and everything he is afraid has just been jeopardized. He has been playing the long game. Careful, methodical, legitimate. Building a case that would hold up. Not doing things that could be used against him or against his position as a parent. Not taking shortcuts that could blow back on the children. And Jacinda, with a pill in Willow's coffee and no good answer available, is standing there with the evidence of a shortcut that could blow back on everyone. Her attempt to answer, or to avoid answering, is the moment their relationship starts to crack. Not break completely, not yet, not in this conversation. But the fracture that begins here is the kind that does not heal easily. Because what Jacinda did is not simply a mistake Michael can rationalize or contextualize into something he can live with. It is a direct contradiction of everything he has been asking from the people around him. It is Jacinda deciding that her judgment about what this situation needed overrode his explicitly stated approach. Michael is not going to forgive that quickly. Possibly not at all. The breakup, if it is coming and all indications suggest it is, will not be a dramatic explosion. It is going to be the slow, awful realization on both sides that what happened here cannot be unfixed. Michael cannot stand beside someone who made this decision without telling him. He cannot be in a relationship that requires him to absorb the consequences of a scheme he did not sanction. And Jacinda cannot undo what she did or make Michael feel the way he felt before he knew about it. This is not the exit Port Charles usually gives departing characters. It is not a dramatic send-off with a big scene and a clear farewell. It is quieter and more final than that. The gradual withdrawal of the relationship's foundation until what is left is not enough to stand on. Jacinda came into the story without the roots that keep characters present for the long term. She cared genuinely, and she acted from that caring, and the caring produced a disaster. That is a very human story. And it is apparently also a goodbye. Jocelyn and Hudson share something old, and Ava walks into the crosshairs. And finally, let us look at the two stories that are going to define what Friday's episode means beyond the immediate drama of Jacinda and Willow. Jocelyn and Hudson. The run-in they have on Friday is not the run-in of two people who are just getting to know each other. The line that surfaces in the clip, "You need to figure out how we fix this," is not something strangers say to each other. It contains the specific shorthand of people who share history, who have a common reference point for what this is and what needs to be fixed, who are not beginning a negotiation but continuing one. So Jocelyn and Hudson knew each other before Hudson arrived in Port Charles. That is the reveal embedded in those few words and in the quality of Jocelyn's reaction. The genuine surprise, the specific texture of catching off guard that is different from meeting someone unexpected and more like encountering someone you did not expect to encounter in this particular place at this particular time. The WSB connection is the most natural explanation. Jocelyn operates in a world where Hudson may have been a known entity before he was a Port Charles story. Whether as an asset, a target of a previous operation, someone who crossed into her orbit during training or fieldwork, the specific nature of their prior connection is the question that Friday starts to answer and subsequent episodes will fill in. What it means for Jocelyn's current assignment is the more pressing question. She is being asked to get close to Hudson under the pretense of genuine connection. But if there is already genuine connection, if there is already history, already something between them that predates the assignment, the professional and personal layers of this mission become considerably more tangled than a standard seduction operation. Jocelyn managing her actual feelings about someone she already has a relationship with while also running the professional component of gathering intelligence about who he answers to is the kind of assignment that produces the most complicated kind of field work and the most complicated kind of personal fallout.